Okay, we're live for our first ever road game on OnlyStans. First ever road game in the history of OnlyStans. We have left the Barstool Sports office. We're in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. And we have a wonderful pleasure of a guest here. We have, what do you go by? What's your official name?
Little Jess.
Little Jess.
Yes.
Great name.
Thank you.
Great name.
Thank you.
We're here because you're fighting in Rough N Rowdy.
I am.
Which is fantastic. Very excited about that. We're going to get into that in a little bit. Okay. But first off, this is an OnlyFans show where it's about OnlyStans, called OnlyStans. So we're going to get into that stuff first. But before that, even, I want to know a little about you. Where are you from?
From Jersey.
You're from New Jersey?
I am.
You kind of look like you're from New Jersey. Yeah. You got a Jersey look to you.
Oh, thank you.
Are you Italian?
I am not.
You look a little Italian.
I am Cuban and Irish.
Okay.
So, yeah, still fun, but I do enjoy Italian. But yeah, I grew up in Jersey, and then I lived in Tampa for like 15 years. And now I live in Vegas.
Tampa's little...
Tampa's
one of my best friends lives in Tampa. I'm not going to lie. Tampa's a horny city. Tampa's a slutty city.
Well, my 20s make sense then.
Tampa is a slutty city. It is.
I literally moved to Tampa actually 1 month after turning 21. So from 21 to about 30, it was.
So are you a legend in Tampa?
No.
What jobs did you do?
I bartended and I served and I cocktail waitressed and I worked at strip clubs as a bartender.
So you worked at strip clubs?
As a bartender.
Which one? Because I mean, Tampa is the strip capital of the world. Which ones did you work at?
I actually worked at the last and most legit place was Emperor's.
You ever work at Mons?
No.
What's the other one? Odyssey 2112?
Odyssey, Mons Venus.
Yeah, Mons is what I just said. That's the GOAT. Mons is the GOAT.
That is.
I've heard it's over. I should never been to Mons. I've heard it's overrated though.
Yeah, no, I've heard that. I've been there, but I was blackout.
Nice. I'm excited to ask you about drinking too because I went through your socials. You post a lot of drinking shit, and like I told you, a lot of fucking OnlyFans girls I interview, they're just vegans that don't drink.
No, I'm not a vegan, and I definitely drink.
But let's get into the OnlyFans stuff first. Okay. You do have an OnlyFans. What's the plug first? Drop the plug.
It's onlyfans.com/Jersey, Jersey, and then Jess. Oh, actually,
check it out.
On my website.
JerseyJess.com.
JerseyJess.com.
That's tank top looks like you made it in the Jersey Shore.
I did, right? That's
it looks like you made it at the Shore store. It looks like you made it at the Shore store.
100%.
It's very New Jersey.
I kept calling the place we were going to the t-shirt shop.
Did you really? I went to the Jersey Shore house this past weekend. I was bored as hell. I just went.
To Jersey Shore?
Yeah, to the house. I have a house at the Jersey Shore all summer. I have a house in Belmar this summer.
Really?
Right behind DJs.
So I can't wait.
Do you ever go to DJs?
I don't know because I moved. Well, maybe when I was like, I used to go to the Shore when I was like 17 to 20, but I was really drunk, so I don't really know.
You were underage drinking?
I was. You want to know a funny story? Actually?
I would love to.
When I was 18, possibly 19, I got busted in a party in the woods because that's what you do in Jersey, and we got busted by the cops, and I got a ticket for underage drinking as well as providing alcohol to minors because two of the people there were 17.
Really?
And I was drunk, but I was very confused.
Scumbags.
I was like, wait, I'm a minor, but I'm providing
You know, the only underage drinking ticket I've ever gotten was underage drinking at Nickelback. A Nickelback tailgate. It was sick.
At a Nickelback tailgate?
Yeah.
People tailgate?
We tailgated for Nickelback. It was great. But most importantly, this is an OnlyFans show.
Okay, sorry.
So I subscribed today to just for research to check it out. Gotta say, $10 subscription price right now.
Yeah.
Pretty good bang for your buck.
I know. I've kind of gone. I just changed it.
I think your strategy's got to change.
I know.
Frankly.
So the thing is I literally just changed the price from $6 to $10 like 2 weeks ago. So I was like trying to like pump it up real quick for the people who were like in the transition to be like, hey, don't worry, there's a bunch of shit coming. But
you think you're gonna lower it or up it before Rough N Rowdy? What's your strategy?
I'm really bad at this stuff. I'm really bad.
Do you have someone that helps you out with it?
My lovely fiance who helps me out with the content also, and then actually my best friend, Content Candy, TV.
Shout her out.
Yeah, he's actually a him.
Oh, okay.
And he does very good at like directing me, but I'm very all over the place. That's the biggest problem is I'm all over the place. I try and focus and then I just lose it.
So you pick your subscription prices however you're feeling it.
Kind of, yeah. Well, I upped it because I was going to put more on the timeline.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
You're posting a lot on the timeline.
Right?
Like a lot
See,
on the timeline. That's
that's
very rare. I don't see that
yeah.
much on the timeline.
Really? See, that's
Never.
the thing is I don't understand this.
I want you to be successful, Jess. You can't post all that shit on the timeline.
See, that's what I know. Okay.
Like way too much on the timeline.
Really?
Like people, we're talking like full sex on the timeline. That's what? That's good. That makes people want to subscribe.
It does.
They're taking advantage of you, just so you know that.
I know.
You can't go full sex on timeline.
I know. Well, that's what I was like. So I was trying to like plump it up for a minute so everyone was like, okay. And then I was going to slow down.
And not going to lie, I subscribed. You get a blowjob video and you subscribe.
Yeah. That's what. Are you really telling me I'm giving away too much? See?
You are.
See? Okay. This is what I need. I don't know. I'm really. I'm literally.
I've been diving into this stuff. You are.
Well, let me tell you how it happened. So I started it again. I did pre-COVID.
You were pre-COVID?
I was pre-COVID.
Pre the boom?
Pre the boom. I didn't even do the boom because I was pregnant during the boom. Okay. So then after the boom, my friends were still telling me, they're like, do it. Like, dude, it's crazy. And I was like, nah, I'm a mom. I can't. But we were living with my in-laws and it was, I love my in-laws, but it was living with my in-laws and it was like, we need to get the fuck out. So I started my OnlyFans in December of 2021. Okay. And I had already had a decent social media following for years. So I basically announced it and I got
and the fellas rolled in.
I got a very big pop.
That's what happens.
I know.
That's what happens.
Then it's like, yeah. So then it was like, it started to like go down a little bit. So I was like, all right, let's up the price. And yeah, no. I've basically just been winging it.
But I'm going to fight in Rough N Rowdy too, so that's big.
Now, yeah, that's
big. That's huge. A lot of horny guys watch Rough N Rowdy. I know. A lot of horny. I'm one of them. I'm a horny guy. Watch Rough N Rowdy.
The good news is, if they sign up, they'll get apparently a
exactly, fellas. I'm not going to lie to you. If you sign up, you're getting some good stuff. It's not no scenario here where you sign up for $20 a month and you're getting a bikini picture. I'm just going to confirm that to you after what I saw today. But
it's gonna slow down. Okay.
Don't tell him it's gonna slow down. Become a salesperson, lady. So aside from you just mentioned your mom. Aside from one of the mothers I had on my show that was on with her daughter, and lean to the plug, you're the first mom I had on my show.
Really? I know. I think I'm gonna go with the Mini MILF vibe.
Mini MILF is a great name.
Right?
Is Mini MILF taken yet?
I don't know. I literally just thought of this like 4 days
Mini
ago.
MILF is fire.
I'm like, I need more than just the little.
OnlyFans.com/Mini MILF is great.
Yeah.
Are you a little worried about balancing having a child and being an OnlyFans mom?
So as far as like the future,
the whole nine
right now.
So if you're pregnant during 2020, I figured that.
Yeah.
Maybe 10 years down the line.
I am worried about it a little bit. But I also I can't even say because it's so little now, but I'm like I'm very open and I'm very, so I think it will actually teach him because he's a man, or he will be a man.
He will be a bro.
He will be a bro. So my goal is, from my experience, to basically teach him, obviously it exists. He's gonna fucking do his thing. And it's so basically just teach him sex is cool. Everyone does it. And your mom, I don't know.
Yeah, you know what's an added thing that just popped in my head? You and your fiance had lead to the plug at Adam 22. Their children, they're not only watching their mom do porn, they're watching their parents do porn together. That just popped in my head. That just popped in my head. I didn't even think of that.
Well, at that point, my goal is actually when he's old enough, I will not be doing this anymore.
That's the goal.
That's 100%.
And then you're like, but then if you're that successful and you're not, then it's like, hey, hey, who cares if some kid bullies him? Just be like, hey, I have more money than you.
I feel like it might actually be cool points for him because he already has a midget. Am I allowed to say midget on this?
This is the question for you. What are your before we say anything? What are your thoughts on this?
Okay, so my thoughts on all of that is I prefer the word midget. I'm 4'7". The definition of a midget is anyone 4'11" and shorter.
Okay.
But regardless of that, I prefer the word midget. It's simple, straight to the point. It is what it is. Whereas like little person or dwarf to me is more degrading. But I always clarify when I tell people, I'm like, I'm a midget. Like, that's fine with me if you meet anyone else.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm allowed to say. So I don't know if I might not say anything.
I was gonna say you probably shouldn't.
Because I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to you. Just from hearing it, little person and dwarf does sound way more degrading.
Right? It's like, to me, it's always been, you're a little person.
Yeah.
Like, fuck you. I'm a real person. I'm a midget.
But
I'm real.
So speaking of OnlyFans content, still winding down the OnlyFans content stuff. Have you ever done a OnlyFans content with another
little person? No.
No?
I have not.
Never?
No.
So, but I once again, I don't know too much about this whole scenario, but I would assume that it's like kind of like a niche category for the fellas, right?
It is. It definitely is. What's funny is like I've like grown my own social media following just over the last 10 years, and it's obviously there's a draw because I'm a midget, but I've like kept it because of me. But now I like when I did OnlyFans, and now I've been on Twitter and stuff. Twitter is a whole
Twitter's a cesspool now. Twitter's disgusting.
Oh my Lanta.
Twitter's
I
gross.
can't handle it.
Gross.
It's
gross.
It's way too much. But
gross.
Everyone's like, you have to go on Twitter.
It's also crazy. You could just post porn on Twitter now.
Just blowing.
Full blown porn.
It's mind blowing to me. And it's mind blowing to me that people do it. That it's just like
full blown pornography on Twitter.
And I'm like, I mean, yeah. But anyway, so when I started going on Twitter, that definitely brought the niche people.
And with the niche question, one of the questions I ask all my guests, you got any crazy subscriber requests? You definitely have some fucking weird subscriber requests.
I have, for sure. Nothing necessarily pertaining to my height, but because I have listened to your previous episodes,
yes,
I was like kind of thinking about the weird. I have a lot of. What's funny is I actually have a lot of feet people.
Really?
Yeah, like I've had to put my feet and like squish them in Reese's cups in a bowl and like wait till they melt, and then put my feet in shoes and squish them around in the shoes and then take them out. And so they can see like the chocolate and
on the soles of the shoes or on your feet?
All of it. They wanted pictures of inside the shoes, of the soles of my feet, of the yeah. I think it's because I have smaller feet. So it's like that's honestly
the chocolate, the peanut butter, the odor of the foot, maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know what that means.
I don't know. They wanted that, and then foot jobs. I get a
big
lot
foot
of
job
those.
person.
I mean, I am not.
But they make you become a foot job person.
It's kind of the feet have kind of slowed down, but yeah.
Wait, so did you do the Reese's?
Oh, I did.
Is there any one you haven't done? That was too much.
Slime.
What is slime? Like slime and like Nickelodeon awards?
Like Nickelodeon slime. Someone sent me a recipe and the money for all the supplies to make homemade slime, and they wanted me to put it in a bucket, and then pour the bucket. When I first agreed to it, I thought they just wanted me to do it like on my tits, but then they later were like, no, I want it like on your head. And it's like cream of wheat and oatmeal. And I was like, I'm sorry, I can't do this.
So you do foot jobs and full-blown porn, but you won't just slime yourself. Yeah, they literally do on Nickelodeon awards. They do that on children's award shows. Well, you say no to that.
But that's what I thought. That's what I was picturing. But if you saw this, I bet you I can find a picture of it. If you saw this slime, it was not Nickelodeon slime. It was oatmeal, cream of wheat, and jizz. It looked like.
Was there real jizz?
No, there wasn't. But it looked like it was just. It was weird.
So how long have you been wifed up for?
4 years.
And how old are you now?
34.
So your whole 20s you were single.
Yeah.
So
I was a train wreck.
Yeah, so I would love to hear about that. What was the dating scene like in Tampa?
I didn't really date a lot. I pretty much was just a blackout mess. I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I was like a blackout tornado. Like I would just go to places, and I don't know, I'd get really drunk, and then I'd wake up the next day, and there'd
The
be
dude
pictures.
next to you.
Yeah, that happened.
Now, forgive.
I have the most embarrassing
I would
story.
love to hear it. Please fill me in. The most embarrassing story.
Okay. Long story short. Don't really remember the action of the night, but I woke up the next morning and I was like, I don't know where the fuck I am. I don't know what just happened. Blah blah blah. And then he drove me home, and he had a Mercedes, and I was in the back seat, and I was like, all right, because there was a friend, whatever. And then I was in the back seat, so they drove me home, and they had tan leather seats. And I got out of the car. Didn't plan on seeing this guy ever again anyway. Got out of the car, and I had gotten my period on his tan leather seats. And I literally opened the door to get out, and I went to close it, and I saw it, and I was like, thanks for a great time. And I closed the door, and I went inside. I changed my phone number.
So you never saw him again? You just left this man with period blood on his Mercedes? You scumbag.
That was literally the most mortal. I was like 23 at the time, so that was a long time.
You scumbag.
I know. I felt very like, I know. I didn't feel like a scumbag at the time.
I hope he's watching this right now.
I know. I wonder.
I hope he is. I doubt he is. Maybe hopefully he's happily married now, but still unbelievable. And if you don't mind me asking, when you're out on the dating scene, are you going for other
little
people?
Little people?
What's the percentage?
No. I've never really been. No, I have. I have definitely hooked up with a little person before, but I have always been interested in people taller than me.
In the tall fellas.
Tall one. Like not just like tall. Not like I mean.
Are you one of those Bumble profiles, only 6 foot and up guys?
No, I would never be that douchebag. That's like
6 foot and up only.
No, but it was just because the thing is because I'm 4'7". It's anytime I was out at a bar and like a 5'1" guy came in, it would always be like I knew they were gonna draw themselves to me because obviously I'm shorter than them, but I was always drawn to like the 5'11", 6 foot, 6'1". I don't know.
And were they drawn to you?
Yes.
Nice, dude.
Enough.
Hell yeah.
And I ended up with a 6'1".
Congrats. That's big. Yeah, I know all the Bumble people. They're like, oh, you got to be 6 foot and up. You got to be 6 foot and up.
I would never. I'm big on personality. Like I'm huge.
All you I feel like you guys go through a PR course. They're just like, I love personality.
No, I know. And I was listening to that because I listened to previous episodes, and that's what I thought. I was like, I want to say that again.
Who with Jenna? When Jenna said it,
maybe
Jenna was like, I love going below my league. I was like, relax, Jenna.
Actually, my fiance will tell you. He'll be like, ugh, you people before me, you. And I'm like, but they were funny. They were nice.
Yeah.
And like
being funny it does work.
It's 100%.
It does work.
Especially me. I'm the most awkward person. Like off the wall. I don't even know what I'm doing 90% of the time. Yeah. So like I need that person.
I forgot what person was talking about this recently on like a comedy podcast. I don't know if it was one of ours or it was like just a famous podcast. I think it was KFC Radio. And they were just like, it's crazy. Like if you make a girl laugh, they'll let you have sex with them.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Literally.
Like that happens.
Especially I think more and more now that it's like the hot douches getting less and less.
Oh, the hot douchebags.
Oh my God. Have you seen the lawyer ads here in Vegas?
I have not. I have not. Wow. You know what I saw yesterday? Actually, I was in an Uber in Newport Beach, California, and they literally had an ad in the Uber for Uber Lyft lawyer.
What?
Yeah, like in case you get into an accident in the Uber. It was unlike anything we've ever seen before. Yeah, it was great. It was great to see. But moving on to your TikTok, I dove into your TikTok a little bit. You posted a few videos, not the most. I've seen girls post a lot more.
Horrible.
But one of the things I did see that you posted a lot about drinking.
I did.
A lot of JMO, a lot of drinking, a lot of party. Not even a lot of party, just a lot of drinking, which I respect. So if you don't mind me asking, you actually one time we even posted when you get out drinking by a 4'7" girl.
Yeah.
How much does it take you to get drunk?
Well, now it's a little less because I've definitely slowed down. But before, like probably 2-3 years ago, I would me putting away half a bottle, 3/4 a bottle of Jameson was not unheard of. Like, and I'd be standing and I'd be fine, and it was, when I bartended, it was my favorite thing when like some cocky guy, especially at the strip club, like some cocky guy coming in, like, oh, I'll buy you a shot, but I don't want you to fall over.
Scumbag.
Like, oh, please, just one.
Scumbag.
Yeah, and then I'd be like, oh, look, I'm still standing. How about one more?
Hey, just popped in my head. We actually are going to have another guest on here in the future that we already recorded. I don't know if we're putting you or her out first. She said she used to work at a strip club, and you could say that she didn't work there anymore. But she would be in cahoots with the bartenders and order shots of vodka, and the bartender would give her water.
Oh, yeah.
You do that?
Oh, yeah. 100%. I would do it with the Jameson. Because I've kind of...
Wait, then what was the substitute for the Jameson?
Coke.
Okay.
Diet Coke, actually. Because Diet Coke's a little lighter. But Diet Coke, and then some... And it was a dark bar, so they wouldn't even know. They wouldn't pay attention. But I would do that just if I was getting too drunk. And
any more tricks?
It was too much.
Any more tricks of the trade from the strip club world as a bartender, not a stripper?
I don't know. I was scared. Not scared, but I was kind of. I'm not an aggressive person.
Mm-hmm.
Strippers are aggressive.
There's something about strip clubs that I hate.
Yeah.
Like people at work, there is a running joke that I'm not a strip club guy because I say I'm not a strip club guy.
Yeah.
And I'm really not.
Yeah.
Like people think I am. I'm really not. Like they make me feel uneasy.
Sure.
I'm positive. They make me feel uneasy. Like I'm in Vegas alone tonight. I'm not going to Spearman Rhino.
Yeah.
They make me feel very uneasy, and they're not even that fun. And the strippers are, if you can't buy into it, why are you going? Like if you can't buy into the whole thing, like her being like, "Oh my God, baby, like what's your name?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
what's your sign?
Yeah, like what's your real name? They're like, oh, it's Brianna.
What do you do for a living?
Like, yeah, if you can.
What do you do for a living?
I'm an investment banker. I don't like them. They freak me the fuck out.
Well, I love the idea of a strip club, that like a woman can go in there and like, it's kind of like OnlyFans, the idea of it, but the reality of it is a lot scarier. Like it was, what would make me uncomfortable is when I was bartending, like obviously I'm not dancing, but it would be like, sometimes there'd be like anger if they sat at the bar for too long. And it would, like, I would literally tell guys, like, I'm like, why are you go sit over at the stage? Like, it's kind of like a balance of like,
especially the guys that go alone.
Yeah. Yeah.
What are we doing?
Like, I was the bartender that was just like, hey, how's your wife? How's your kids? Like, we'll talk about your kids.
You seem like you'd be great at being the bartender that talks to the guys. You seem like you'd be fantastic at that.
Went to your kid's soccer game yesterday? How was it?
That sounds great. And these were in Tampa once again.
Yes.
So this was the strip club capital of the world.
Yes. Which is funny because I knew that, but I didn't really know that for a long time.
Oh, it's great. But it's also just a fun city.
It is.
It's like I said, it's a very horny city.
In my 20s, I'm grateful and regretful that I spent
You
my
still
20s.
talk to a lot of friends from Tampa?
Yeah, for sure. But it's also kind of when I went from like party blackout Jess to mom Jess, it kind of, some of them kind of.
Do you miss party blackout Jess?
I don't miss the hangovers.
But do you miss partying?
I kind of do. A little bit. Yeah.
Do you ever go out and party?
We actually, my fiance and I, shortly after we first moved here, was it Super Bowl? Yeah, we went to a Gronk. Oh no, the draft pick. We went to Gronk's draft pick.
Didn't Gronk have Gronk had like it was like Gronk Fest or something?
Yeah, something like that. It was at some pool. I don't remember what casino, but we went there and I got pretty drunk, very drunk. They gave me it cost me like $78 for a drink, but it was like this big and there was apparently like 8 shots in it.
Ooh.
And I drank the whole thing. And I was still fine. I was still standing.
Amazing.
Thank you. But I slipped on water.
That'll happen.
At a pool party.
It's quite slippery.
And they were like, you got to go.
Hey, speaking of that, fellas, we're not going to cut here, but before we got here, for about the half hour before we got here, we're setting up. There was an absolute banger going on outside at this hotel. Yeah. Banger going on at Flamingo. Like I couldn't take a nap before. I heard it from the 24th floor.
Really?
It was insane.
Yeah.
But also talking about 8 shots and not getting drunk. So my friend that I just showed you before we started this, shout out to Zah, one of the most beloved people at Barstool Sports, if not the number one.
I want to meet him.
He's the best. He's 4'5", and he's got a fucking dump truck.
Oh,
dump truck.
See, I don't have that.
He's got a dump truck ass.
I don't have the little person,
but him, he friggin' he drinks. He keeps up with me, and I drink a lot. I drink a lot of shots, and he keeps up with me. But then he dies at the end of the night. And I'm like,
well, yeah.
I mean, I'd die too.
My
But
thing was, it was always like I could be like 11 shots in and I'll be fine. But then if I take that 12th shot, it's like
you're dead. Yeah,
it's
so
like,
down.
that was just so my struggle was always where that line was.
So speaking of, a lot of those folks have dump truck asses.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm just going to shoot you straight. I saw on TikTok, and you said you were laying down, taking icy hot on your back because of your chest problems.
Yes.
Are those bad boys natural?
They are very natural.
So you have the opposite of the dump truck.
Yes. I have
Tatas? Titties? But well, anyone has titties. Anyone has titties. There's some big ones, though.
I got the tatas, and they're all natural. I grew them all by myself.
Yeah.
And yeah, no, they've definitely killed me.
I mean, I got to say.
My body is not made to support them.
I mean, I got to say, from seeing it in person, I'm like woke on seeing a lot of girls with big tits now because I'm like, you know what? They're probably smaller girls and they're not as big as you think from the photos.
Yeah.
Pretty big.
These are 36 triple D. So
really?
Naturally.
Congrats. It's pretty sick. Yeah. It's pretty sick.
And that's been since about freshman year of high school. So my back is pretty
freshman year of high school? That's 20 years.
Yeah.
That's 20 years. That's 20 years out of the battlefield.
Fuck. Yeah, that is 20 years.
Yeah, 34 to 14.
Still going strong, though.
Proud of you.
Strong.
Proud of you. And I noticed you have your Amazon wish list out. It was a lot of dildos and costumes.
I'm glad you noticed that. I put that out like a month ago.
A lot of dildos and costumes. So if anyone wants to get her a costume or a dildo.
No one has bought me anything.
Scumbags.
I know.
Maybe after this they'll check it out.
I'm like, I don't know if it's because like I fucked my fiance and they're just like, or like, I don't know. That's my struggle with OnlyFans is I'm trying to find the line of being like, hey, I'm here to entertain you, but also fucking.
Can I be honest?
Yeah.
And no disrespect to him, seems like a great guy. I just met him. You should have just never said that you have a fiance.
Right now?
No, I'm saying on OnlyFans. You should have never said it.
Oh, I shouldn't have?
No.
But then
like whenever I see an OnlyFans girl put up that she's his boyfriend, like what are you doing?
Yeah. Well, no,
But that's like career suicide.
Well, absolutely, I get that. Like, I don't advertise. Drew, I love you more than life. I don't advertise on like Twitter, Instagram.
Because I did find the fiance before, just looking at on like your socials. I forgot where I found it, and I was like, if I was an OnlyFans girl, I'm never saying that I'm wifed up.
But then it's like, but I'm not fucking anyone else. So what do I say? Just ignore him?
Just be like, oh, it's my fuck buddy.
Yeah. But why have a kid with him?
The kid doesn't have to be an OnlyFans.
I mean, he's fine with it. He knows he's like a stunt dick. And he's
no. Hey, who's got it better than him?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, there are some girls I see that post like, oh, I'm wifed up now. I'm like, what are you doing?
I've been wifed up. But the thing is, too, is that like I've had a decent social following. So a lot of my followers have seen the progression.
Yes.
So they've seen like, I don't know, but yeah, I get what you're saying.
Anyway, back to the Amazon wish list. There were a lot of costumes on there. What's your like dream cosplay costume?
Honestly, like a Spider-Man vibe.
Mary Jane or Spider-Man himself.
Either one. Like
you guys should do a Spider-Man Mary Jane.
I love like the women who wear like the Spider-Man costumes. I think they look hot as fuck.
Okay.
I mean, like even just on TikTok.
I mean, I love Spider-Man, so that's fine.
But it's like, and then maybe just like cut a hole and then move on. And then like
that's aggressive.
I'm just saying to like make it work. I don't know.
And finally, Rough N Rowdy. Rough N Rowdy, August 19th, Huntington, West Virginia. What inspired you to fight in Rough N Rowdy? How did we find you? How did we find you?
I'm like, okay, so there's a midget company, and they actually messaged me on Twitter, and I'd not spoken to them in a long time, and they were just like, hey, would you be interested in doing Barstool Sports Rough N Rowdy? And I was like, and I asked my fiance, I was like, I don't know what this is. And he was like, they basically fight. I was like, fuck it. Yeah, I can do it. So I said yes. And then I looked into it more, and I was like, oh, this is what I'm doing. Okay.
So I'm happy you're doing it, but I do have to circle back on what do you mean by an M-word company?
Oh, they
just look out for everybody?
They're like a midget promotion company. They do midget wrestling. They do they basically, I think it's like if people need little people, they contact them.
Okay.
And then I know one of the people who's like in charge of that. So then they, I guess, thought of me, and yeah.
Well, happy you're here.
I'm so happy.
What do we think of our opponent?
She's 19.
You're fighting a 19-year-old?
Stop. I'm having a really hard time with that.
Not to mention, let me read this promo here, right? We got Little Jess, 4'7", 125, 34 years old from Las Vegas, Nevada, wants to come to Rough N Rowdy to kick some ass. It's our first ever female dwarf fight, fighting against 4'4", beautiful Bobby Joe, sister of Dylan Michaels, who's 1-0 all time in Rough N Rowdy, and third-generation dwarf wrestler. So you're fighting a prodigy. This is Rough N Rowdy 18, August 19th. You can watch it at buyrnr.com. 20 fights plus ring goal contest. So check it out. How do we feel about fighting a 19-year-old?
I'm struggling. I'm not gonna lie. I've done wrestling also.
Have you wrestled children?
No.
Because you're fighting a 19-year-old.
I actually have a very hard time with that. Like, it's like that's probably my biggest like mental block with this. Is I'm like, child, because I'm a mom.
Also 3 inches smaller than you.
And 3 inches, but I'm not gonna lie. The 3 inches, I'm like,
it's gonna be like Joe Louis against Rocky Marciano.
yeah.
For those keeping track at home, Joe Louis was very old. No, not very old. You're not very old. Joe Louis was like 50, I think.
Oh yeah,
You're 34.
50.
You're 34.
Yeah, thank you.
It's a 15-year difference, though. Is what I mean. I'm sorry, I said that wrong.
It is. Yeah, it is. So yeah, I mean, I'm definitely nervous about that. Just and the mom in me, like, oh baby, like no. But then like the bitch in me is like, nah.
Has she been talking shit?
I don't think she has social media. Does she?
I haven't really looked.
So
I don't
my
know.
thing is though, I haven't looked at social media as far as this fight and people like comments and everything because I'm like, I'll get in my head way too much. So
Well, I think you're gonna be a fan favorite.
Yeah.
I think you're gonna be a fan favorite. You have a great personality. I think you're gonna be a fan favorite. I'm a little worried though. I'm almost rooting for the 19-year-old.
How the fuck do you say I'm a fan favorite and then you're rooting for the
She's the underdog. I'm attracted to the underdogs.
Well, see what
3 inches shorter and 15 years younger.
Listen, the reason I stopped watching or looking at the comments is because the first day that Barstool posted it, there was a lot of pro her comments.
No.
So, I don't know. I haven't checked back since then.
Compared to beautiful Bobby Joe?
Yeah, they were saying that she's gonna kick my ass.
Oh my God.
I mean, she's got like I don't know. She's got something going, but I don't know if she has the advantage or I have the advantage.
That's true. I mean, usually when you're a 34-year-old's fighting a 19-year-old, be like, oh, the 19-year-old.
Yeah, that's where I'm like.
I don't know. Though.
But then I don't know.
What's your official prediction? Official prediction from Little Jess, Rough N Rowdy, 18. Official prediction.
I'm gonna fucking win.
In what round? We K&O?
I think it'll be KO. I think we'll make it to the third round.
And then you're gonna fucking take her out.
I'm just gonna fucking.
You're gonna be punching down at her. She's 3 inches younger than you.
Like it's just I'm ready. I don't want to say too much of my strategy because I gotta.
Okay. Well, hey, Jess, you got any questions for me?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Nothing.
I did, but I lost it.
Nothing.
Am I your favorite guest ever?
Top 5.
Top 5
of the 15 guests I've had.
15?
Of 15.
That's what 70%.
I love my guests. Right. I don't know who my favorite guest is so far.
Yeah.
Kelly K.
Yeah.
Jenna Lee.
I like.
Fitness Nala was great. She did the Hago face a lot. You know that Hago face thing?
Is that this?
Kind of. We got to put your eyes together, though.
Someone told me it's canceled.
I put a video out about it like a month ago, and I think I got canceled for it.
I don't know. Someone asked me actually for a custom of that.
Of the Hago face.
Yeah, but I didn't know there was a name to it. They just first they said that, and I was like, I don't know what that is. And then they like described it and I Googled it. And then I like took a video and the whole video is just me going like this. Like my eyes are going in circles trying to like cross them. But I learned. That's how I learned I can't cross my eyes.
So yeah, because you almost had it. It's creepy. I don't like it. That's what I told Nala. That's what I told Nala the whole time. Like she was doing it the whole time. That's her thing. She posted nonstop. And then I was just like, I don't really like it. She was like, would you like it if you were coming on my face then? And I was just like, no.
That is something I don't do.
What?
Facials.
Well, what's other things you don't do on the OnlyFans?
I don't do facials because unfortunately people leak my stuff all the time. So I don't want a picture of jizz on my face floating around the internet.
That's a fair
Yeah,
stop, I guess.
You know, that's where my line is. It's like
Okay.
on my face. But the other thing, I haven't done anal.
Okay.
Ever. I just tried my first butt plug.
How'd that go?
2 weeks ago.
That's great.
It was good. It was good. I liked the aesthetic of the video when it was just like a pretty pink diamond instead of
Rock on, queen.
yeah. So.
What's your favorite stuff to do on OnlyFans? Favorite stuff to post?
I like to get fucked. Like
Tom Brady likes to score touchdowns.
I know, but it's like that, and I'm like I like to. I don't want to say, but I do want to say like
SD.
What does that mean?
It sounds like you're gonna say like to suck.
I mean I do. My problem is I have a gag reflex.
Oh, is that bad in the game?
It's like I have like a bad gag reflex where like
damn queen.
It's like I can get it to a decent point, but it's like once I get past that point, I'm like, oh.
You can't go on a show and say about bad gag. I gotta literally put you through OnlyFans boot camp.
I told you I'm more.
I gotta put you through boot camp.
Okay.
But
I don't have a gag reflex.
All right. I think we can wrap up here.
Okay.
Shout out to OnlyFans one more time, please.
OnlyFans.com/JRZJSS.
And then once again, Rough N Rowdy, 18, August 19th, Huntington, West Virginia. Give us a little hype up quick.
Kick some fucking ass and
take some names?
No, I said I'm going to forget some names.
Okay.
Yeah, so hold on. I'm going to kick some fucking ass and forget some names.
Let's go. Check out Jess. Go Jess. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Also, our first away game on OnlyStans.